my salty pecans, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Pamela, and on today's video we are going to be chatting about the craziness that happened in the plant community this past week. So if you're not living under a rock, and if you are, come on out, Patrick Star, come on out from under that rock and let your salty pecan Pam let you know what the heck was happening.
Good morning.
So, like I said, if you haven't been living under the rock, then you probably noticed on certain social media platforms other people were chatting about this, and it was for the variegated gloriosum auction that happened with NSE Tropicals and Kaylee Ellen. So as we all know, plant community, there are different ways for you to sell plants, and this time it was via auction. Things kind of just went crazy, and I am so disgusted by the outcome of this. So I did manage to grab some screenshots. I also did get in contact with Kaylee Ellen and asked her a couple of questions about what she knows with the situation and what they're planning on doing, you know, to not have this happen again. So if you're interested in watching Jinx clean herself and hearing about this variegated gloriosum auction that reached a whopping 10 million USDs, then keep on watching. So welcome back, everybody. Okay, I have my phone with me because I have a ton of screenshots that I did pick up during the week during this whole situation, and I also have a conversation with Kaylee that will be in this video. So I do want to let you know the first portion of this video is going to be a bunch of screenshots that I got online about people's concerns during this whole entire situation and after it ended, and then I'm gonna come back, give my little opinion about what's going on. Then I'm gonna add some screenshots from my conversation with Kaylee, and then give you all my final thoughts and opinions on this. But before I get into all of that, make sure you are following me on my other social media platforms at HauzPlant, HauzPlant, to, you know, stay up to date with me with other things that I'm posting. If I'm not active here on YouTube, I'm active on Instagram. I'm also active on TikTok. They're all at HauzPlant. I'm on Twitter too. So make sure you do follow me on those other platforms, and definitely subscribe to this channel. Don't come here sipping tea, all right? Don't come here spilling soil. Don't come here, all right, and watch me spill my soil, okay? Nah, go follow me on my other platforms. Support your sister. Help me clean up this mess, all right? So with that being said, let's get into today's video. So everything started with this initial post that Kaylee Ellen posted on her Instagram, and it was just her stating, if you've ever wanted a piece of my variegated gloriosum, truly now is your chance. This unicorn is up for auction on NSE Tropicals website. So as you can see, this is a beautiful plant. I don't own a gloriosum. I tend to stick to plants that are not too fussy, too finicky, and literally don't cost me my entire existence. So this is absolutely normal. This is very common. People auction off plants all of the time. So if you actually go on NSE Tropicals Instagram, you won't even see this listing listed on their Instagram to refer to the selling, because this auction was taken down. So what I'm gonna actually go ahead and do now is add a bunch of screenshots that I found throughout the week, scouring during the auction and then after the auction. You can pause if you need to, because, you know, I bet you can't read like all that stuff in 5 seconds.
favorite ingredient. Bitch, I don't give a fuck! So good. That's my favorite ingredient. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I gotta pause the movie real quick. I gotta tell you something. Bitch, I don't give a fuck! Okay, let me resume.
Is this not crazy? I cannot believe a plant just in general made its way to be that price. If you're not new to my channel, then you probably have seen a video I made some time ago called Plant Auctions Are Killing the Plant Community, and this is one of the very reasons why I believe plant auctions are killing the plant community. This is not to say that I dislike plant auctions. I have hosted plant auctions myself, but these types of auctions are the ones that I do not like. I don't even know where to begin with. There are just so many thoughts and emotions just going through my mind right now about being on the receiving end, because yes, there are many people who truly wanted this plant, who bid on this plant, and someone was hoping to win this plant. Then you have the trolls, the mother effers, who come in and ruin everything for everybody. So one of the biggest distastes that I have with plant auctions is the fact that most of them end up reaching an unattainable price for the common plant parent, for the common plant lover, for the common plant addict collector. And you have a bunch of people who don't respect others, and the ones who are actually trolling are the people who do not respect others. You come into this community and feel like you're righteous enough to create fake accounts and fuck with somebody's
Gasp.
money. There are many things in life that people forgive you for, but fucking with somebody's
Gasp.
money, don't fuck with my money.
Double gasp.
Don't fucking play with my
Beep.
money. And if I was Enid or if I was Kaylee, I'd be pissed as fuck.
Beep.
But you know what? They're lucky because they're able to host this plant on a private collector site for anyone who is truly interested in this. And I feel like the people who were trolling were just trying to send a message. So I did reach out to Kaylee and just ask her a couple of questions. So I will have these screenshots here as I read them to you. So I got in contact with Kaylee and I asked her a couple questions and she was fine with answering them for me. She said, so I asked her, okay, so how are you involved with the gloriosum? I heard that it was yours, but you let Enid care for it for you. Next question was there reserved for the plant? My other question was, rumor has it that there were fake bids. Is that true? I also asked her, do you know what happened to the listing? Will it be relisted? And what's going on with the internet people? I know it's a lot of questions. She was fine with answering them for me, so let's get into Kaylee's answers. So she said, I won the gloriosum in an auction in summer 2019. I paid around $1,700 for it, which at that time was around 1,400 euros. The gloriosum was in the USA, and I collected it by hand at the Aeroid show a couple weeks later. So just FYI, Kaylee lives in the United Kingdom. The Aeroid show is hosted in Florida in the United States of America. I was meeting a ton of people at the show, so I asked Enid if she could store it somewhere to look after. She took it back to hers that night, and it's been there ever since. I didn't want to bring it back too early and thought I'd let it acclimate a bit there, and Enid agreed to look after it. The more time that went by, the more we agreed the gloriosum was fine there, and Enid loved looking after it. I had no desire to propagate and sell it, so I was happy it was in a safe place. I got updates on it, life was good. It was supposed to come over to the UK eventually, but I just never found the time. Typical me, she's just busy. Okay, so the auction. I previously sold this plant to private collectors for a substantial sum of money. We thought it might be a cool idea to put one up for public auction to see what it might go for. Ben and Enid organized the auction and I promoted it on my Instagram. There wasn't a reserve price. Realistically, we knew it would fetch some sort of price because, as I've mentioned, we have sold it before to nurseries, etc. The fake bids part is true. The issue is that it was hard to ascertain to what point the fake bids started to take over because we knew the high price the plant had previously sold for. So it took a while before we started to scratch our heads. Fun fact, I had no involvement in the Instagram auction past my initial post because I was away at a horse show that weekend for my birthday. Ben and Enid were in very close contact working on what should be done about the fake bids, and I'll be honest with you, Ben told me as little as possible because he didn't want me to be stressed or upset. He's seen shit like this happen before. I'd had to find out from him, but I believe the fake bids reach as high as $1 million, which of course is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The listing was removed as it was causing Enid huge amounts of distress, and she was receiving hate online for jacking the price up herself. Presumably I was too. There was no point in keeping the listing up as we couldn't even ascertain real from fake bids, and Enid didn't deserve the hate she was getting. The gloriosum will not be relisted. If a nursery or other such collector wishes to buy a variegated gloriosum from me, they can email my shop and get in touch. This is another classic case of victim blaming, and people are getting very aggressive over houseplants again. Enid did nothing wrong, nor did I for that matter. Even after this whole thing ended, 3 days later, people were still ruining all of Enid's auctions on her website in the same way they did mine. So I had a follow-up question for her. So follow-up question, I'd say more for you in your future auctions. How do you plan on authenticating of bids? Because once these trolls start, copycats follow. Kaylee responded, well, this is unfortunately a problem with the auction website itself. There will be functionality added to Enid's website, I believe, in the future where you need to have valid credit card details in order to bid. So that was the conversation that I had with Kaylee Ellen in regards to everything that was online, all of the skeptics, all of the questionings. There were even rumors that Kaylee Ellen and Enid were the ones that were hiking these bids up in order to get more money. Again, these women are fucking millionaires. I don't know if Kaylee's a millionaire. I'm gonna assume Enid is a millionaire. She runs this huge plant website for the last 2 decades. These people have enough money to not have to hike up their own freaking bids in order to get more money. It's possible, you never know, but let's be real right here. These bids were made from individual accounts, and I think this is just crazy. People have so much time to invest in someone else's life. People have so much time to invest in trying to take down other people. People have so much time to invest in 2 women who are self-made, who are in this space that we are all in, who we all aspire to use a passion of ours to fuel and fund our lifestyles. Nobody wants to sit and work a 9 to 5, okay? Nobody wants that. But these women have been able to elevate themselves and get themselves out of whatever they were. And you have a bunch of losers, a bunch of nobodies coming out of nowhere, trying to fuck with their money, trying to fuck with their pocket, and I think that's great.
Double gasp.
There were other things in the conversation that I could not show you because they were off the record, but you do have other people on different social media platforms who were trying to claim that they had a doing with the fake bidding, and they were trying to purposely sabotage admins of certain Facebook groups, certain popular big Facebook groups that I've probably spoken about. They have gone ahead and tried to claim things too. It's very insane how conniving this plant community is, but like I mentioned, like Kaylee mentioned, this listing will not be going back publicly. They are going to do their private collector bidding, and I did not specifically ask her how much other gloriosum variegateds have gone for in the past, but this is to assume that they probably have sold for over $20,000. This is just like my guess, okay? So it is hard to, like Kaylee mentioned, ascertain when the false bids would come in, because on these bidding websites, how it happens is you create a profile and your bid goes with your profile, they'll show you like the first letter of the profile name and the last letter of the profile name, and that is just all the private information. But of course, Kaylee and Enid on their end do have the ability to see who the bidders are, who the trolls are, but again, it's hard to pinpoint who is a troll, who is a real auctioneer, person who wants to win from an auction. How I also feel about this situation is that it is a definite personal attack on these women. I don't know anything about Enid or her business, but I do know more about Kaylee Ellen, and I do feel like it was a personal attack on her, because if I feel like Enid was just a casualty, they wanted to get at Kaylee for all of the crap that she's been involved in the past. So what do you all think? This is just like my little assumption, like maybe do you think this is like a personal attack on Enid because the auction was hosted on her website, or do you think this was a personal attack on Kaylee, or both women, or do you think these women themselves were the ones who created these false accounts to just create hype over the situation? Like, in my opinion, I think people just need to get a life, stop fucking with people's money. I think people just need to get a life, because yeah. But share your thoughts with me down in the comment section below. It really sucks for the real people who were actually bidding and hoping to win this plant. Unfortunately, now all they have to do is go via the private collectors route and contact Enid and Kaylee if they are interested in having a cutting of this plant. But the trolls, you won this time, okay? Haha. You won this battle, but you did not win the war, because homegirl is literally at a fucking horse race, chilling, all right, kicking her British legs up, okay? And you're here, who knows in what neck of what woods, of what swamp, and thinking you did a big thing, you know, thinking you actually like got. What were you trying to prove? It's like, what were you trying to prove? Like, what were these people trying to prove? It's like so many questions. Were there multiple trolls? Was this just like a bot? Was this a directed attack on these women? Or was this just like a hee hee ha ha fun game that other people were like, oh, let's just join this because screw you and screw everything that you stand for. With that being said, my salty pecans, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and sharing. Subscribe if you aren't already. Join this little cookie family because we're pretty awesome here. Become a salty pecan, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a video. Don't forget to follow me on my other social medias like I mentioned at HauzPlant, HauzPlant, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's get growing. Bye.